it wasn't working. So after about me and Q working together for like
welcome back to Fit Fueled Reactions and Fueled by Plants. And today we got a very, very good reaction to go into. All right, as you can see in the title, of course, right? Veganism is a cult. Now, is veganism a cult? What is a cult? What about these vegan influencers? Are they too extreme? What is extreme? We're going to get into all of that on this episode of Fit Fusion Reactions. And we're going to be reacting to the most insane vegan influencers, all right? We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to see if veganism is a cult. Am I in a cult? Am I a cult leader? You're going to find out on this episode, all right? So let's jump into it. No further preamble. Right.
People to die, to threatening to kill people, to carrying around dead animals. There have been tons of creators in the veganverse that have caused a fuck ton of havoc. Now, as we know, veganism is the practice of refraining from anything that comes from animals. Even though it feels like it was created recently, veganism as a whole has actually existed for thousands of years. And for a long time, it's always been associated with extreme shit. And that's because a lot of the mainstream has showcased these vegans as very crazy people that...
As you can see, I'm on my walking treadmill, obviously. I'm not just sitting here walking in place like a crazy person. But he said something right there. He said veganism has been around for thousands of years. I don't know if that's completely accurate. I know it started to get popularized in the early 1900s, but I have to do some fact checking on what he said right there.
Do anything for their cause. But it's important to put out that veganism as a whole is not bad. There's debates about how it affects your body in terms of health, but overall it can be a healthy diet if you get your proper nutrition. Today we're going to look at some of the craziest and most extreme vegans that have really given the movement a bad name. So let's cut the bullshit and get right into it. So first we'll start off with Freely the Banana Girl, an influencer who has contributed a...
Before he get into it, I like Freely. I like Freely. I watch a lot of her content. She talks a lot about how people try to demonize sugar. And she shows a lot of peer-reviewed studies on how sugar is actually beneficial to the body instead of detrimental to the body. And it's a lot of good information that she talks about. If you don't know about Freely, go look at her channel. Look at some of the information that she puts out there. She's a very knowledgeable person, but let's see what he talk about though.
A lot to eating disorders. Now, Freely developed an audience by criticizing other creators for their eating decisions. The video that made her blow up was Why Has Jenna Marbles Gained Weight, which got over 3 million views. Now, in the video, she argues that Jenna gained weight because she chose to not go vegan anymore.
Okay, she's not fat by any means, but she is definitely gaining weight. So why is she? Because she has gone off her predominantly vegan plan.
Because these videos did so well, she would make more and more videos calling out other creators like Zoella, Gabby Hanna, Shane Dawson, and more. She says that she was trying to stop the spread of misinformation.
I'm definitely going to keep doing the everything wrong with such and such as diet because there is so much misinformation on YouTube and it needs to be counteracted.
Well, the problem was that it was less critical and more bullying. She claimed that she was a feminist creator, but she was actually extremely toxic. She would quite literally have her fans harass any of the creators that she called out. And while you can't control what your viewers do, she did encourage it.
Firstly, I just want to say thank you to you little fruit bats who fly around YouTube, spreading the fruit seeds, tagging me in posts, trying to help others, coming back to me and letting me know who you feel.
And on top of this, she constantly body shamed other influencers as well. She also had some wild opinions, like how there were more deaths on 9/11 because obese people were blocking the doors. One of her worst ones was when teenage creator Talia Castellano passed away, because Freely claimed that she would have survived if instead of getting chemotherapy, she switched to a vegan diet. This made her develop a very controversial persona, but regardless, she still collaborated with giant YouTubers.
Now, let's be completely honest. YouTube is a place of polarization. You have to be very polarizing. A person can be very polarizing on one end of the spectrum, but still put out good information, right? And that's what this is all about. If you're not polarizing, people are not going to watch. So I give her points for being polarizing, but at the same time, you want to let your facts speak for themselves instead of having your opinions speak for you. Excuse me.
Like Jenna Marbles, Shane Dawson, Trisha Paytas, and more. And this was during the wild 2015 to 2016 era of YouTube. Her Jenna Marbles podcast appearance got extreme backlash. But the real danger from Freely was the diet that she promoted. She claimed herself as a frugivore, which means that you only eat fruit. This is a big part of her brand and her lifestyle. Freely constantly boasts about this.
nope. Let me correct that right there. A frugivore or fruitarian diet doesn't mean you only eat fruit. That means you primarily eat fruit. So when a person says I'm plant-based, right? They don't just eat plants. They eat fruit. They eat nuts and seeds. They may eat some processed and packaged foods as well. So it just means you are primarily. I am on a fruit-based diet, but I eat probably 75% fruit, right? And the other comes from other sources. So it doesn't mean you eat only fruit. All right. So I want to make sure we stay honest on this whole video.
This diet claiming that she lost 40 pounds in a span of 30 days. Problem is that this diet is very unhealthy. If you only eat fruit, you lack a lot of the essential nutrients that you need, like amino acids, fats, calcium, iodine, iron, and omega-3 fat.
See, this is what I like to talk about because this is an opinion. You can only be either right or wrong. All fruits have all of these things. You can get all of these nutrients on a fruit-based diet. Fruit has amino acids. Amino acids is just protein broken down into amino acid structures. Fats, you can get avocado. Calcium, you can get figs. Kiwis have calcium. Iodine, iron, you can get it's a lot of different fruits that have all of these things. The only thing that you probably have to supplement with is omega-3 fatty acids, but you can get that from algae, right? So you can get all of this on a fruit-based diet.
Fatty acids, and there's also not a lot of calories in that, and you kind of need calories to function. So the diet that she had quite literally encourages eating disorders. One vegan influencer, Zana Samsonova, quite literally died from an all-fruit diet, and that was because of the starvation and the malnutrition she suffered. And while Freely is not directly related to this case,
let's talk about that because I know the person that they're talking about. Matter of fact, I wish I could find a picture of the person. Matter of fact, fruit-based raw vegan that died. Because a lot of people bring up this person right here. A lot of people bring up this person, and I don't think that's very fair. This person right here. A lot of people bring up this person. Oh, she went fruit-based and she couldn't get enough calories. Like, one reason why I don't like this argument or like this example is because how many people are on a animal-based diet that die every day? How many people are on the standard American diet that's in the hospital right now? So you find one vegan or one person on a fruit-based diet that didn't eat enough, right? The fruit-based diet didn't cause this. In prayers go to her family. A fruit-based diet didn't cause this person to pass away. She wasn't eating enough calories. That's it. She wasn't eating enough. It wasn't fruit that did this. I want to really make sure I'm being clear about that because a lot of people bring this person up. And it's not fair to her, not fair to her family, because it has nothing to do. It has everything to do with the caloric intake. So I really wanted to make sure I said that. Let's go back to the other. Oh, hold on. Where did it go? Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I really highlighted that point because a lot of people bring that up, and I don't think that's pretty fair. Yeah.
From what I know, she definitely encourages a diet that does cause things like this. And if this wasn't bad enough, ironically, one of...
Yeah, absolutely. People try to demonize a certain aspect of the diet. It's not true. And that's what I'm here to bring truth into the equation, right? Absolutely. People unalive themselves every single day. How many people have high blood pressure and all these different ailments on a standard American diet that has plenty of meat on it? All right. Find me a person that's vegan right now that has any chronic illnesses. I'll wait. I will wait. I'll cash app you $100 if you can find me a person who's been vegan over 5 years and they have some type of chronic illness. I'll cash app you $100 because it's not going to happen. Why? because a plant-based diet is healthy. You know?
Her books actually cause people to gain weight. Her book, Raw Till 4, was designed to help people gain weight, but a lot of people actually revealed that it did the opposite. Now, for those that don't know, Raw Till 4 is a vegan diet where you only eat uncooked food until 4 p.m. and then after you have a cooked meal.
So this is what I looked like while I was eating Raw Till 4. And this is what I look like now.
Put a finger down if you've been changing your content 10 times over because you were not making sales. I sell digital products that help.
So she is deceptive in multiple ways and has definitely contributed to a lot of unhealthy lifestyles. But Freely wasn't on this crazy train alone. She was actually doing it a lot with her boyfriend and fellow vegan influencer Durian Ryder. Just like Freely, he is very big on veganism. Durian has also had his own controversy, like claiming that he had his own crazy physique from going vegan when in reality he actually did use steroids.
Going into your muscle and definitely does hurt for a couple of days. My left arm, I can feel it. It's like I got kicked in the arm. Another question was, where is testosterone derived from? It's soy-based.
Together, they have caused quite a lot of chaos. For one, they encourage people to get vasectomies so that they don't continue to populate the planet.
So what I propose is that men get vasectomies. All men have to get vasectomies.
If I was in power, this is my little power trip, is I would have every male have a vasectomy on the planet.
One of the most controversial events was when they hosted the Thai Fruit Festival, which is a festival.
Pause, man. Pause. I had to go grab my chair, but pause. They talking about vasectomies. Okay. I'm not co-signing this. I don't know what the hell she talking about. I don't know what she's talking about.
Festival for vegans. One of the people who was renting out a house for festival attendees quite literally admitted to R-wording some of the people that were staying in the house and then backtracked on it. This in its own mind caused a lot of controversy for obvious reasons. But when this very serious accusation came out, their main response was, we don't want any part of this drama.
People focus on shit and drama and, you know, be a victim, poor me, that sort of vibe, and I don't want to be around people like that.
I know Annie and Jill love drama. They love creating drama. They love attention. That's fine, girls, but if it's at my event, I'm gonna call out a bit.
It was revealed that a year later, there was a different man who was pretending to be vegan said he can gain the trust of the women, which is pretty creepy.
This happened at our festival last year, and I'm really sorry this happened. I'm gonna read this out. I'm sorry this is gonna be a super long message. I read Harley's post, and I was super shocked. I didn't tell anyone about my experience with him. This guy's name is Jack.
1 year later, when the festival was happening again, Durian publicly accused another creator, Ezel Mazad, of messaging an underage girl and trying to meet up with her, although he had no actual proof. I can't confirm 100% yet if this is true, but this POS is allegedly in CM and asking girls for money and I assume probably sex, etc. If you see him in town or know what hotel or apartment number he is staying in, then please tell me. But the thing was, the guy did not do that at all. Ezel did email a girl that was 17 years old, but he only messaged her because she took the Raw Till 4 diet and gained weight because of it. Ezel was simply trying to ask her about the diet, not trying to meet up with her. It's ironic because Durian would also meet up with that girl. Not in that way, but it's pretty hypocritical how he did it. Even more ironically, Durian himself was accused of sexual assault from a different woman when him and Freely were on a break. This woman went to Durian's hotel to work on some artwork and he kissed her without her consent, after she said no multiple times. And then the next day made more unwanted advances.
He kissed me anyway and then started to ask for more. I ended up making excuses. I had a friend in my apartment that I had to get back to. I was on my period. I was uncomfortable with how close it was to break up with Freely, but he didn't listen to my excuses and he continued to ask me for more.
And when this girl told Freely about it, she simply ignored it. But perhaps one of the worst things that Durian did was accuse a YouTuber of faking cancer. The YouTuber that they accused was Jen Journey, a fellow vegan who was suffering from breast cancer. She no longer had the money to support her treatment, so she went on YouTube to ask for donations as it was literally her last resort.
Less than 2.5 years after my mother passed away, I found a golf ball-sized lump in my left breast. It has grown and taken over my entire breast at this point. This is my last hope. And I really need more help.
and the video was successful in helping get some people to donate money to her. But then, Durian, with no proof, simply claimed that this woman was faking it all for money and attention. His reason being that he saw evil in her eyes, which I have no fucking idea what that means.
In my honest opinion, it's a scam. I feel this person's using makeup or black salve on their body and asking for money. They look like a bit of a smack addict, a bit of a druggie, and in my honest opinion, it's a scam. They're saying, I've got 25,000, I need 100,000, and it just seems really wrong to me. $100,000? Or whatever they're asking for, just a scammer. In my opinion, I might be proven wrong, but that's my opinion. I feel it's a scam. Just look in that person's eyes, it's just, I see darkness, I see scammer.
Unfortunately, this was effective in people actually agreeing with Durian and not supporting her anymore and not giving her any more donations. Jen tried to prove that she actually did have cancer by showing the paperwork.
So here is the original biopsy, which was done in May of 2015. Here you go. Here's my name, Jennifer Felici. Here's my face. Da-da-da. I'm holding this. This is real.
But this didn't work, and she no longer had the money to support her treatment, and she eventually passed away from the cancer. Durian never apologized and instead posted this excuse of a video.
No one's coming here to motherfucking save you. No one's coming here to save you. I'm not coming here to save you. Might give you some great advice, but I don't know you personally. I'll probably never ever meet you. What I can do is give you some advice. The best one is, no one's coming to save you. You're pretty much on your mother own.
Thankfully, Freely and Durian would break up in 2016 during the heights of their insanity. They both accused each other nonstop of cheating, manipulation, abuse, etc. And another girl would also accuse Durian of sexual assault afterwards too. And at this time, they gained the reputation for being the worst vegan couple ever, but not the worst vegan creator, because that belonged to Vegan Gains at the time. Real name Richard. During the edgier days of YouTube, he made a
Yeah, I remember this guy. From back in the day. I think he probably still make videos. He had a lot of good content back in the day, I'll say that. But he was one of the more extreme.
Pretty big name for himself as a vegan fitness influencer. He always preached about how it's possible to get gains without having to eat animals for protein. And most importantly, he wanted to call out influencers that were promoting fake supplements and trying to sell bullshit to their fans. Both pretty noble causes. But the problem was, he would slowly get more and more psychopathic. Initially, he would develop a genuine audience with his reckless shit-talking.
And you had surgery for heart disease, and you're dumb enough to keep eating foods that cause heart disease? This may surprise the shit out of you, but plants have protein too, and unlike your protein supplements, plants don't lie about their protein content, so say whatever the fuck you want about vegetarians and vegans. Let's see how hard you can punch when you die of a fucking heart attack.
His series Worst of the Fitness Industry, where he would criticize other fitness influencers, actually got him a pretty big audience and got him over 50,000 subscribers. This would cause him to get into some beefs with other fitness guys and even some in-person confrontations. And he would also get
some of Vegan Gains videos used to be funny as hell. Like, I remember him back when I first went vegan, like 9 years ago. He was super popular. He kind of fell by the wayside now though. Like, you know, you have to be able to provide value, right? To stay relevant. With a race lever, unacceptable. You are all required to save me if necessary, although it avoids being likely I'll need it. But you all get ready just in case. Well, there you go. Yeah, like I said, he funny sometimes, but sometimes it's like he's got a little bipolar. Like, I'm not trying to diagnose him, but he be kind of all over the place, you know?
Bittersweet growth when Grade A Underway called him out for his hypocrisy. Back then, Grade A Underway was kind of like the Kendrick Lamar when it came to dissing other YouTubers. If this guy made a video on you, you were kind of fucked. And for Vegan Gains, he points out quite a lot of his hypocrisy. He specifically accused how Richard would call out non-vegan influencers for using steroids, but then would turn a blind eye to vegan influencers who were clearly using steroids.
One thing I like about him is that the kid's a fucking steroid expert. He's got the sixth sense, man. He can spot a steroid user a mile off. Vince Del Monte of being a steroid user, right? He's not big at all. Like, I would never look at this skinny shit and go, oh, this guy's on steroids. But anyways, okay, so he says that Vince is on steroids, right? So if Vince is on steroids, how is vegan heavyweight bodybuilder Ryan Nelson, he's the guy on the left, right? How is he not on steroids? Ryan's like twice Vince's size. If Vince is on steroids, surely Ryan's on steroids, but no. Ryan still isn't accused of jack shit, which I can only presume is because Ryan's a vegan and he gets favoritism.
Steroids is a very, very serious issue in the fitness industry, so to not really include all of that and be so biased was a pretty big problem. Grade A's video got nearly 8 million views, which did give Richard quite a lot of hate, but also quite a lot of growth because he was still a smallish channel. Over time, Richard's videos got quite more and more aggressive. A lot of this was speculated to be an act. I mean, it was YouTube in 2016, so the crazier you were, the better.
I'll be dead fucking serious. I'm a sadist. I enjoy hurting people. When I just beat the ever-living shit out of somebody, I get a warm, tingly feeling inside like I'm being loved. Make some vegan gains and be nice to animals or I'll kill you. So the only use I can see getting out of you is cutting your fucking skin off and turning you into my new fucking wallet! I fucking hate children. They literally make me sick. When I see babies in a commercial, I start to gag and almost throw up, and I have to look away and mute it. And when I see babies in a stroller, especially when they're crying, I just want to put my foot through the fucking thing and step on it until it's nothing but blood and pulp on the fucking pavement!
He himself even kind of made fun of this a little bit.
So, it's a great opportunity to meet me, and don't be shy, I say hi and talk to everyone.
Hey, vegan gains, vegan gains!
Told you! Fuck off! So it's a good opportunity to try and kill me, so if you think you have the fucking guts, come to the fucking Toronto Veg Fest!
But then some of his actions would show some very genuine sociopathic tendencies. When his 82-year-old grandpa passed away, he immediately blamed it on the fact that he was not vegan, and even tried to film it for a video. My grandfather just had a heart attack, seizure, or stroke. I'm not sure exactly what yet. He's 82, and there's a very likely chance he's going to die. This is the price you pay for a bad diet, and you can expect to see a video on this very soon. I'm going to warn you all ahead of time, it will be graphic.
And I just got back from the funeral thing that we had. It wasn't exactly a funeral, but a bunch of family got together and I was dragged to it. But anyway, I was planning on showing you guys footage of my grandfather actually having the heart attack. As soon as the paramedics got to the house, I took out my camera and started filming.
But you know, when you're vegan, and 9 times out of 10, when you have a person that's vegan, their family isn't vegan. Right, my family isn't vegan, and I try my best to get them to go vegan or eat better in general, right? But most of the time they don't want to listen because people have their own things that they want to do with their lives. Look, so I get that. So when a person in your family goes through some type of health issue or health concern or even pass away, whatever the case may be, it's always in the back of your head that, hey, I could have helped them improve their health in some shape, form, or fashion, right? Especially me being a nutritionist. So I see that from that standpoint, but I would never bring that to the internet to talk about that. That's just me.
Filming, but a bunch of people in my family, my mom, my grandmother, uncles, shit like that, they threw a big fucking fit about me showing that footage on YouTube. They're perfectly fucking fine with eating foods that cause fucking heart disease and make people actually die of fucking heart attacks. But when it comes to actually showing people what happens when they eat these foods, that's just too much. So
we're one of the only social media agencies that guarantees 1 million views or you don't even pay. But honestly, that is just kind of what we...
The fact that he wanted to film his grandpa's death just to prove some sort of point that honestly doesn't even actually prove anything really just goes to show how crazy he really was low-key. He would get a lot of criticism from other YouTubers, including Repzion.
Who the fuck thinks this way? This is one of the most deplorable... I can't even fathom this type of thinking.
In response to this, Richard literally went on a rant about how he wanted to kill Repzion and even flashed a knife live on stream.
Repzion's a little fucking bitch. If I had the opportunity, I'd kill him. Slit his fucking throat with this knife. Really like to use this knife on him. Like, he really does deserve to die. Like, he's such a smug little bitch. I'd love to just slide a knife right across his throat and just watch him, like, just look all scared. when, you know, he's just dying.
Maybe this could be played off as some sort of act or a joke, but honestly, it still seemed really, really weird how he did it. Richard was a believer that standing by and letting animals get killed was basically the same as killing them yourself. He cared so much about animals and their right to live that he was literally willing to kill people for it. So empathetic, right? This empathy was really shown when Richard had beef with another fitness influencer, Furious Pete. Furious Pete was a very, very heavy meat eater and also was diagnosed with cancer around this time. Richard constantly said that he got cancer because of the fact that he was eating so much meat, which caused a little bit of a back and forth between them. At one point, Richard said that he straight just deserves to die. And at this point, fans saw that Richard was going too far. Act or no act, this was crossing the line. And he was only getting edgy and edgier because honestly, it was working. He would even get into another beef that further boosted his channel with Leafy, the king of edgy YouTube. Richard had such a bad reputation that he actually got arrested twice. The first time for his statement, "Be nice to animals or I'll kill you," and the second time when he accidentally bought leather gloves and then made a video where the thumbnail was him putting a BB gun in his mouth to replicate a real gun. I had to censor the thumbnail, but you get the idea. And he was arrested for psychological evaluation because they thought the gun was real. But eventually, the shock value only lasted so long, and the adpocalypse came in, which also definitely hurt his revenue. His views went down, and the channel was even banned at one point. His last piece of relevancy was when he did a back and forth with Penguin Zero. Richard called him out for being hypocritical when he accused a mukbanger of torturing animals live, but also the fact that he was actually making sausages. He feels that this was hypocritical because if he really cared about animals and their well-being, then he wouldn't be making such a video like that.
I'm not a vegan and you don't need to be to find the she does cruel and just downright ridiculous and just disgusting. Her name is So Young, and what she does on her channel is she buys sea creatures alive and then kills them in the slowest, most inhumane ways possible because she likes to watch them squirm around and put Facebook royalty-free music behind it as a joke. Yeah, they're actually alive. It's not like some kind of post-mortem response or anything, and even in the title she makes it well known the octopus are alive and that she's eating them alive. That's the whole draw of the video. If you watch her channel, you watch this content and support it, you suck. You, like, objectively, you're a piece of and you have taste. I guarantee I could find 1,000 scientific reports to corroborate that. It's a fact. You suck. And she is absolutely terrible. I don't even know how this content is allowed on YouTube. This absolutely falls under animal.
So far in this video, to be honest, like I'm so far away from these type of vegan content creators. It's crazy, right? My approach is a lot different, right? I try to approach veganism and plant-based and nutrition from a logical, science-based standpoint, right? You have a lot of people that come at it from an emotional standpoint. And when I first went vegan, I came at it from the same standpoint, right? You find out what's happening to the animals. You're like, why is nobody talking about this? And you kind of lean all the way into that, right? But after a while, you realize that doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results is the definition of insanity. So you try to find a different approach. My approach is showing people the lies about veganism, right? The lies about protein, the lies about B12, the lies about you can't stay full, the lies about all of these things. And once you debunk those myths, the important stuff, then people are more susceptible to wanting to go in that direction, right? And I still make content about the animals and animal cruelty too, but I lean more towards the nutrition side because I feel like, people are more willing to listen when you kind of ease it in from that standpoint. All right. Let's see what we got. Race level back again. What do you stand on the B12 debate? Do you believe or you deny it's needed? To be honest with that, I get my blood work done very often, right? And I take B12 supplement, and I take one a day, just a regular B12 supplement, B complex. When I go to the doctor and I get my blood work done, they always tell me that my B12 levels are way too high. So I had to cut back on my B12 supplement. Now think about that. You have these people that say, oh, B12, 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 right? But every time I go to the doctor and get my blood work done, they say my B12 is too high. And they tell me, whatever you're doing, you're doing good, but you can cut back on it. So now I only take my B12 supplement every other day, maybe twice a week, because it's not as important as people would make you believe, right? They want you to believe that you can only get it from animal products. It's a fear-mongering tactic. It's a fear tactic. The same thing with protein, the same thing with omega-3 fatty acids. It's a fear tactic. And what they try to say is, oh, you have to take a supplement to get it. That means it's this diet isn't natural. That means it's not good for you. No, that doesn't mean anything, because these carnivores, and I talked about this on the other stream, these carnivores and these people on keto, guess what they do? They take supplements too, right? They take not amino acids, sorry, electrolytes. They take electrolytes. You know why? Because when you're on keto, when you're on a carnivore diet, your electrolytes plummet. And guess what? Your electrolytes is what gives you energy, right? Electrolytes plummet when you're on keto, when you're on carnivore diet. So by their own logic, being on a carnivore keto diet is not good for you because you have to supplement. So this thing with demonizing supplements, no, supplementation is exactly the word that it's called, is to supplement your diet. We evolved. In the 1940s, doctors told you cigarettes was healthy. We realized it's not healthy for you. So we evolved to understand, hey, sometimes just eating your diet, you don't get enough of what you need, so you supplement with it, right? So it's just a bad argument altogether, you know? Have you seen anything about the vegans saying that the entire B12 narrative is a lie, that you can only rest for it as a synthetic and it can't be tested in soil? I haven't heard that. I would definitely look. That's very interesting right there. I don't think it's a lie. I'm gonna look into that to see a little bit more info about that. But I don't think it's a lie. I do believe that you definitely need B12, because here's the thing: B vitamins are directly correlated with your nervous system, right? B12, folate, which is B1, B6, right? All these B vitamins are directly correlated with your nervous system and also brain function, right? And your neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, regulates adrenaline, things like that. So B vitamins is super important, but I'm curious to look into that. So I'm glad you shared that with me. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna look more into that.
Animal cruelty by all definitions.
So it seems that Penguin is unaware of this, but sausage casings, at least natural sausage casings like the ones he's using, are in fact made
on YouTube and tortured.
And there's no way that I can leave out the vegan teacher, who is easily not just one of the most hated vegan creators, but one of the most hated creators, period. This is someone you most likely know whether you like it or not. Unlike a lot of other vegans, she actually chose this lifestyle pretty late in life, not actually becoming a vegan until 52 years old. It was 2 years after this choice that she then made vegan content. Originally, her stuff was some pretty wholesome songs and stuff. It wasn't good, but it wasn't controversial.
Carrots and hummus, they go together like meat and my carrots.
In fact, what actually made her go viral was a song that she made about McDonald's outside of their restaurant.
3, 2, 1, sing! Eating animals is wrong, McDonald's. Hurting animals is wrong, McDonald's. Share this song and change your entire menu to be vegan from now on.
And this video would mostly go viral because of the fact that it was cringe, not because it inspired people to go vegan. But pretty soon after this, that vegan would change her content to be quite aggressive. The first sign was when she made a video claiming that she no longer was going to be an organ donor because she didn't want meat eaters to get her organs.
Hi everyone. Before becoming a teacher, a school teacher,
I will say this, you know, a person that's super polarizing like this, right? I would say that she probably gets a lot of hate online. And a lot of times when people say, oh, I don't like vegans, or these vegans are annoying and all of this stuff, they start, these vegan creators start acting that way because of all the hate they get online. Go look at my comments right now. Go to my last few videos online and look at the comments. It's tons of people on there just spouting a whole bunch of BS. But I've been vegan 9 years, so I get it. I understand it. It doesn't bother me. I understand, right? It's mainly number of logical fallacies that they're promoting. They a whole bunch of straw man arguments. But I get a lot of hate, especially on Instagram. A lot of hate, right? I got over 500,000 followers across all platforms. I get a lot of hate. A lot of people come at me, right? So I understand why a certain vegan gains or this person would start, start going in a different direction. Because when you get a whole lot of hate like that, it makes you want to push back. Right? It makes you want to push back. So I don't necessarily think that they're doing it from a negative place, coming from a bad place. It's coming from a good place,
Teacher, I worked as a nurse for 25 years, and I always talked about the importance of signing our organ donor cards. But this year, for the first time in my life, I have decided not to sign it, and here's why. I realize how despicable society is, how many evil people are out there, especially since coming to TikTok, even more so. And I've decided that there's no way on earth that I want any of you to ever get my organs if I die. The only people I would ever want would be vegan animal rights activists, because I will give those organs to those people, and I know they will not be murdering animals to put into that body that would have been saved. The rest of you will just continue to live and keep murdering animals. So I just wanted to let you know that it's really disappointing, but it's come to this.
And her content would then start to get more into the reign of shock value. She made tons of remarks that were racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic. For one, she would compare the slaughter of animals to the Holocaust, basically saying that they were the same. They're not.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 40.
The animal holocaust going on right now is the worst holocaust in history.
She claims that coming out as vegan is completely selfless, while coming out as LGBTQ+ is selfish. It's not.
Coming out as a vegan animal rights activist, as somebody who cares beyond themselves, is much more special than it is to come out as a member of the LGBTQ community. Coming out as a member of the LGBTQ community is an entirely selfish act. It's talking.
Yo, race level, only take a fold early. I got tired of waiting for the folate to kick in. Gotcha. That's funny. Touche. I get that play on words right there. It didn't go over my head. Let's get to the last. I thought it was going to show more vegan content creators that I know, like some of the people in the vegan fitness industry. Let's see who else they talking about. I think I know this person right here.
She's just simply the most famous one. The craziest one easily is Tash Peterson, aka Vegan Booty.
Now, I know this person right here. I reacted to a lot of her content before. And I actually tried to collaborate with her on Instagram once. And she ignored it. She ignored my collaboration request, right? Now, I get it, because sometimes people will try to collaborate with me, and it's not that I don't want to collaborate with them, but if we're not on the same, if I have 100K followers on Instagram and a person with 100 followers want to collab, it wouldn't be beneficial, right? So it's not. I'm not saying I wouldn't collab with that person, but they have to bring something else to the table as well, right? Because in that case, I'm the only one bringing something to the table. But with her, I think I have more followers online, and followers isn't everything. I'm not saying that. I promise I'm not saying that. I'm no better than nobody. But I'm just saying, when it comes to that, that is an aspect of it. But I have more followers than her on Instagram, and she ignored me. Now that's cool. That's cool. I don't have no problem with somebody ignoring me. It's all good. You know, I'm not butthurt, I promise. But the thing with it is, you know, I never see her collab. And I hate to bring race into this. I hate to do this, but I have to. You know, I have to bring race into it because a lot of these vegan animal rights activists, I never see them collab with any black people. I never seen it. Or at least hardly ever see. If I haven't seen it. If you have, message me, let me know. But I never see him collab with any black people. Now I get it; it's not a lot of black creators, and it's not about a race thing. But sometimes it makes me believe that a lot of these vegans are, you know, I don't want to use a hard word, but hey, you know, it kind of almost makes it seem that way, right? All these vegan festivals that be going on. You know, all these festivals and stuff like that. You rarely see any black representation, man. There's a lot of black vegans out there that's doing their thing. Badass vegan, Tori Washington. It's a lot of black vegans out there that's doing their thing, right? We ain't talking about vegan gangs. We're gonna keep vegan gangs out of this, right? But yeah, you know, I tried to collab with her and she ignored me, you know, didn't even respond. You know, it's cool. I get it. It's all good. But you know, but yeah, let's see what you say. Hinch Herbivore. I like Hinch Herbivore. I actually follow him on YouTube. He put out a lot of good content. And he's jacked. He's ripped. He ripped just like your boy, right? Yeah, he doing good work. I like a lot of his videos. He make real good content. I fucks with Hinch. Yeah, let's get that's funny. There's two jokes in one live stream. I like that. That's what's up. Let's keep race out of this. We're gonna keep race out of this, you know. Hint. But yeah, I don't know. Y'all let me know. A lot of these white vegan animal rights activists, you know, I don't never see them collab. I see them collab with a lot of vegans, but I don't never see them collab with any black people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's what I see. That's what I see. I'm not making no statements. I ain't using no words. I ain't making no claims. I'm just showing you I'm just telling you what I see. You know, that's the only slight.
Foodie is perhaps the most extreme of the extremes when it comes to public shenanigans and stunts for veganism. Originally on her channel, she posted wholesome, innocent videos surfing on the beaches of Australia. But this all changed in 2019 when she posted her very first vegan video protesting against the Million Paws Walk. This was a fundraiser that was designed to raise money for animals in need. Something that you think a vegan would support, right? Well, in her mind, this was evil because it was showing love to dogs while still eating and consuming other animals like cows. Hypocritically, the literal video that she posted before this one, she literally owns a dog that is pulling her on a leash on her skateboard, which I'm pretty sure constitutes as abuse in some sort of way.
And another thing too, I do one reason why I think that's the case is because I know a lot of black vegan creators and influencers talk about fitness. I talk about fitness. So a lot of animal rights activists, they look at vegan fitness influencers as someone who's just trying to make money or trying to profit off of it, because it has been a lot of vegan fitness coaches online that went vegan, made a lot of money off of it, and they after a few years, once the money dried up, they stopped being vegan. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull up a couple of them. One was a dude named John Venus from like 5 years ago. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that dude. Yeah, I remember this dude right here. Matter of fact, and it was another one too. Where this dude at? He wiped. No, that's not him. Not Vegan Gains. Hold on. Vegan Hustle. Yeah, that's that dude, right? Vegan Hustle TV. This guy right here. When I first went vegan, this dude was all over YouTube talking about vegan this, vegan food. He was a vegan athlete. And like 2 years ago, he came out saying, "Oh, I'm not vegan no more." See right here, this is the video right here. No longer vegan update. Made all this money off of going vegan and all of this, and he come out and say, "Oh, I'm not vegan no more because I couldn't be healthy and all this." And it was one more dude, John Venus. This guy right here went vegan, made a whole bunch of money, coaching programs and all of this. And then a couple years ago, "Oh, I'm not vegan no more. Me and my wife weren't vegan no more because we have a child and we don't want our child to be unhealthy. And I don't think it's healthy for us anymore." And da da da. So they got super famous online, made a lot of money and profited off of it. And then guess what? I'm not vegan no more because I can't be healthy. I'm not healthy. So you was pushing it all this time, made money off of it. Now you can't be healthy. All right. So for people who are animal rights activists, right, purely for animals, right, they look at someone like me or someone like this person, right, as someone who's trying to profit off of being vegan. Oh, veganism isn't about health and fitness. It's about the animals, right? I totally understand that. That's why I went vegan. But I had to understand nutrition. So I became a personal trainer. I became a nutritionist. I transformed my health and my body so I could stay vegan and be healthy. And now my way of getting people to go vegan, my way of getting to highlight the animal abuse and get people to go away from animal products is to show them that they can be healthy as an alternative, right? But a lot of animal rights activists, they look at it like, "Oh, you're just trying to profit off of this." So that could be one of the reasons why a lot of those vegans like that don't really want to collab with certain people, right? Now that's just a theory, but it could be something like that, you know. But yeah, man, it'd be crazy. But John Venus, this one hurt. But what really hurt was Vegan Gains. See, people don't really remember him, but he was popular, man. That one hurt right there. I promise, man, that one hurt. Because I know it's all a lie. I've been vegan 9 years. You can be healthy. You know, so that makes you really believe that they tried to profit off of it. They was profiting off of it. That's it. That's it. It was just for money. And there's plenty of other people who my next live stream should be the people who ex-vegans. That's gonna be my next live stream. Next week, I'm gonna be reacting to all of these ex-vegans. I think it's a whole compilation on YouTube. It's like a 30-minute video of people who were vegan in transit and said, "Oh, I'm not vegan no more." Ex-vegans. That's gonna be my next live stream. But yeah, I just had to I had to talk about that real quick because it's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. I don't know how I got on that topic, but yeah, that's crazy, man. So that could be one of the reasons why a lot of these animal rights activists don't want to collab with certain vegan fitness influencers because they think we're just get back to it. Racial level back again. Wouldn't that actually work both ways? That would also imply that black vegans don't work with white vegans, not just the other way around. Well, I haven't seen that, but I do see your point, right? I see your point. The reason why I bring that up is because a lot of the ones that I follow incorporate a lot of fitness and health and nutrition content in their vegan activism, right? A lot of the black vegan influencers, right? And a lot of these animal rights activists, whether black or white, they don't associate with them, right? They don't associate with them. And I think that's one of the reasons, right? Now, like I said, you know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's just how I kind of see it, you know? Yeah, F. John Venus, one of his excuses was, I can't say for sure if my baby can. Yeah. I remember watching that video when he first put it out. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. Can't believe he like, bro, it hurt. And it gives people, non-vegans, more fuel. Because that's what they always say. Oh, how long you been vegan? Oh, you gonna change after a while. All right. Nah, if you go vegan, it ain't no change. It ain't no such thing as an ex-vegan, like you just said. Ain't no such thing as an ex-vegan. Like it's impossible for me to go back and eat animals. I would never do it. Like, never do it. You feel? Never do it. And there's a lot of people that have my same sentiments. They could never eat any animals again. And I'm one of those people. So just by someone like a John Venus or a Vegan Hustle going back to eating meat, yeah, they were never vegan for that reason. They were plant-based, and they did it because it was popular. When I first went vegan, it was popular. Like, everybody was doing it. That's when it was, I mean, it was popular. 9 years ago, it was popular. Everybody was talking about it. That's when all the celebrities were talking about it. Everybody was talking about it. All right. So maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. All right. Something like that. But let's see what they're talking about real quick before we hop up out of here.
Would then start to do other stunts like wearing a cow onesie in the supermarket dairy aisle while blasting animal noises, which weren't really that bad, just kind of annoying. This would get her banned from several grocery stores and get her in the newspaper, which she was kind of proud of. She would make her very first headline though when she ran into the middle of a stadium with a flag that says "Right to Rescue." She would get fined $20,000 for this and was banned from that stadium for 3 years. But to her, this was a success. This was an opportunity to be a powerful voice for animals with a big audience and make them listen to us. This only further fueled her because now real media sites were giving her genuine attention. So she needed to up the intensity. She would do her next stunt by dressing up as a pig covered in blood in a butcher shop selling human meat, which again got her more media attention and got her kicked out. And it actually would also lead to her getting her first ever viral video, "Angry Butcher Drags Vegan Out of Supermarket." Despite getting over 17,000 dislikes, the video got nearly 400,000 views, which to her was a success. Immediately she gained a very negative online reputation and was deemed as that vegan teacher's daughter. And she was actually noticed by the original and commented on her to support her, and she proudly wore that title.
What do you mean? Of course that vegan teacher is my mum. We may live on opposite sides of the world, but we'll always be forever mother and daughter and forever vegan.
I didn't burn out because I was working too hard. I burnt out because I kept hearing no. Here's what my day looked like. 2 hours researching.
Now eat your fucking vegetables!
But this was simply only the beginning of her reign. Her next move would be go topless in various butcher shops painted as a cow. And she would do this in front of
I would
kids.
definitely say
she did this so many times, and to give her credit,
this is extreme veganism. This is the definition. This is the definition. Although everything that she says, everything that she stands for, I agree. But you ain't gonna catch me out here doing nothing like that. Like, you just not. You're just not, right? Yeah, this is what we call extreme. So when you overhear a person saying, "Oh, those vegans are crazy" or whatever, they're talking about this right here. Now, like I said again, I'm not even against it 100%, but it's always a way to do things. It's a way to conduct yourself. It's a way to communicate. And the reason why she's doing this, and I don't know this person, but I would suggest the reason why she's doing this is to get more attention and garner more attention, and put more eyeballs on her cause. Thus, a lot of those eyeballs will be more susceptible to hearing about the truth about animal agriculture, animal farms, and things of that nature, Right, so it's all about getting more attention towards
it. Also got her a ton of views. Her most popular video at the time was where she went topless in public, getting over 400,000 views. She even went live with that vegan teacher and unfortunately got her to do the very same thing to promote veganism.
There goes my chances at monetization.
Eventually, though, she would get a disorderly fine for one of her videos and had to go to court for it.
And this has resulted in my disorderly fine,
I agree with Boo.
which I decided to appeal.
I definitely do.
And I'll be pleading not guilty in court because I don't believe that I was acting disorderly.
And just like that vegan teacher, she also compares animal slaughter to the Holocaust.
Holocaust is the mass extermination of more than 6 million Jewish people.
Well, it's just a factual statement if you look at the definition.
Now, I do believe this, you know, in about, I don't know, in the future sometime, we're going to look back on eating animals in a different way. I do believe that 100%. With all of this lab-grown meat that's coming out, with more and more people going vegan, we're going to look back on eating animals, or at the very minimum, the very least, we're going to look back at animal agriculture and factory farming. We're going to look back on factory farming in a very, very negative way. People of the future are going to look back on like they're not even going to be able to believe the way that we treated animals. 100%. I don't know what that will lead to. I don't know if that will lead to a completely vegan population, but we're most definitely going to look back on how we treated animals in the next 15, 20, 30 years. We're going to definitely look back at animal agriculture in a totally horrific way. I promise you. I promise you. And I'm not even for lab-grown meat. I'm fine with what I eat now. Right. But I'm just saying, with all of this coming out, we're going to look back on factory farming in this animal agriculture, the way that it currently is. We're going to look back on it as a horrific thing that people did to animals. I promise you. Mark my words. Mark my words. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. If you have people like Joe Rogan, and there's plenty of clips of him talking about how terrible factory farming, if you can get him to say how terrible factory farming is, yeah, you're going to see a lot of people talking about it. Plant-based meats versus lab-grown clone animal Franken meats. Yeah, I'll take plant-based meats any day. Yes, have some high hopes for the future. Have you met people? Yeah, I've definitely met people. I do think we're going to look back on factory farming in a negative way. Because right now, you know about factory farming. I know about factory farming. The general public has some idea. They know that animals die. But the regular person don't know what happens in factory farms. They don't know. They don't know what cage-free means. They don't know what caged means. They don't know all the filth that those pigs live. They don't know none of that. The average person don't know none of that. They know that animals die for this McDonald's burger, but they don't know the truth. They don't really know the truth. Get a random person to watch Earthlings, the movie on YouTube by Joaquin Phoenix. Try to get the random person to watch Earthlings. They're not even going to be able to make it through the first 20 minutes. Why? Because they have no idea what really goes on. That's why they are so easily able to eat animals. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. And it's partially their fault because they don't want to know. They don't want to know. You be out to eat with somebody and they be like, oh, you're vegan, huh? Why are you vegan? Oh, because animals literally cry. Cows literally cry when their babies are. When you start talking about that, it'd be like, oh, I ain't want to hear all of that, though. Yeah, they're ignorant to the fact, but they don't want to know, and that makes it worse. But yeah, try to get the random person to watch Earthlings. Either they're not going to watch any of it, or they're going to turn it off after 10 minutes. Yeah, Yeah. And that's just the truth, you know. But yeah, this is it. We're gonna hop up out of here. Look, I appreciate y'all for joining. To end off, is veganism a cult? No, we just have a lot of crazy people in the world, right? And once again, I agree with the sentiments of each and every one of these vegans, right? Tosh, even though I don't know how good of a person she is, not from the veganism side standpoint, but I just, you know, I don't know about her specifically. But when it comes to veganism, all of these people just are doing this for the animals. And people express themselves in different ways. So is veganism a cult? Absolutely not. Right? Absolutely not. What we do have is different people, different ways of going about doing things, and different ways of expressing themselves, in different ways of contributing to the cause. Right? I have my way of contributing to the cause, and that's debunking vegan propaganda, ensuring that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. That's my way, and this is their way, right? So, veganism is in a cult. I appreciate your race. Thanks for joining as always. Next week we're gonna be back at it again with some more content. Till next time, fuel yourself, don't fool yourself. This has been another episode, Fit Fusion Reactions. I'm out of here because it's time to go eat some plant-based meats. Pause. I'm out. Peace out. See y'all next time.